Joyce, thanks so much for taking the time to show me around Patchwork Quilt Creations here.
Thank you for coming to see us.
What do you do with these amazing creations that you guys are making here?
We are donating them to the local charities. There's 3 of them in particular. The Society of Organized Services is our main one, and also to Island Crisis Care Society and Quilts for Survivors.
What does it mean for someone who receives one of these handmade gifts?
It means an awful lot. We have received letters that have just bring you to tears. They say, somebody hasn't done something like this for me for years, or I had no idea that somebody would make something like this for me. It's just very touching.
And how much time goes into one of these quilts?
There's about 40 to 45 hours minimum into a quilt. We're making lap-size quilts, not bed quilts, but they still take a good amount of time, from picking the pattern, picking the fabric, starting to sew it, putting everything together, pressing it, finishing it, and binding it, and then we put our little label on it.
Tell me what it's like to be a part of this group, having a sense of community as you produce these items for folks in the community.
Well, I think one of the things that really got us into this is we love to quilt. And so we got together and just started quilting, and it's just really for our own pleasure, but it is really very heartwarming, and it gives us a good feeling. We have a real solid idea about quilts warm the body and comfort the soul.
What a beautiful thing to live by. That's great.
It is nice. We really believe that.
How did you get started doing this?
About 2013, 2014, there was 2 or 3 of us making quilts, and we decided that we had all these leftover scraps and we had time to pull together a lovely quilt. We started to get a group, and we looked around for where can we donate these in the community, and I started asking around.
And so a lot of these quilts are just freehanding. You've just used your skills and your experience to make these?
A fair amount of them, especially in the early years. In the recent times, there have been some really simple quilt patterns that have come out, and we've started making some of them.
And the colors are beautiful, they're intricate. Why don't you show me around?
Yes, I'd love to do that. You have a chair there, Adam, and get the foot pedal there.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're all set up to do what we call a 1/4 inch seam to sew a block.
Okay.
So it's not going to run away from you. You've got lots of ability to just press the foot pedal. It's not going to race. So now we need to take it over to the ironing board and press it. Take it to the ironing board here. And the iron is nice and hot. You've got it laid down the way it was actually sewn in the sewing machine. The fabric's in the same direction. You're going to take the iron and you're going to set the stitches in the seam, and then stand the iron up, and then you're going to turn it over and press towards the dark fabric, and you're pressing, you're not distorting with it. So now that you've finished your blocks, and let's pretend you've sewn them all together, and now we're going to go into the next big step, which is sandwiching.
Sounds great.
Come on this way. This is where we finish the quilt, and this is the most important step. This is where we put 3 layers together. You've done your block. We have the need to buy batting, and this is about $450 to $500 a roll, and it does about 40 quilts. We would have to stop quilting if we couldn't find more batting.
And if somebody wants to contribute, I mean, you're making 80 or 90 quilts a year. That's a lot of material. If someone wants to be a part of this, how can they help?
Well, the primary way that they can help is to make a donation so that we can afford to buy the backing and the batting. And the other way they can do it is to contact us and donate if they have leftover fabric from projects that they no longer want.
I really appreciate the work that you and the other volunteers at Patchwork Quilts are doing. Joyce, thanks so much for showing us around.
Thank you very much for your interest in doing this opportunity with us. Thank you very much.